Welcome to the Marc Silber Show, Advancing Your Photography, brought to you by SanDisk. We connect you with photographers who have mastered their craft, sharing their insight and showing you their photography tips so you can go right out and use them. We're here with Anna Kuperberg, a San Francisco-based wedding, child, and dog photographer. She's recently had a cover and a spread in PDN magazine and also a cover of PPA. This year, she was awarded one of the 10 best wedding photographers by American Photo magazine. Anna, thanks for joining me on my photography show. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, Marc.
Tell me about your style of photography and the type of work you really love to do.
Well, as you know, I photograph weddings,
Yep.
children, and dogs. And with all of that, I think the common thread is I'm really delighted with humanity and expression and gesture, and there's often like a playfulness and a little bit of humor and a little bit of wit, I think. And on top of that, they're very sentimental. I think the way you do that is by really being interested and being curious and being open and just noticing. And that really makes people, like you're doing now, right? So because you have a curiosity, because you're the interviewer,
Right.
that creates a, you know, it's very flattering. Like, you bring me in, I'm going to be interviewed. It's the same thing with photography. Everybody wants to be noticed, I think. And if they feel comfortable and safe, their personality will come out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of what you do to get your great shots, can you walk us through some of the key actions that you take every time you pick up a camera?
When I walk into a scenario, the most important thing is I'm in the moment. You want to have a clear head and really just stop and observe and be open to noticing things that aren't the expected things, the sort of cliche things,
Right.
Which is really important with the three things that I shoot are weddings and children and dogs. And the danger is getting into cliche because there's so much kind of flat, two-dimensional pictures about what love looks like. Like, okay, go over there and kiss.
Right.
And then that's the picture, without really looking at how do the people really interact with each other. And that's the kind of the core or the essence of what makes a good photo. If you stop and just notice or allow yourself to see what you're not expecting to see, how do people really interact with each other? And it's not the cliche thing, which is usually a kiss, which in a lot of wedding photos will end up like not really convincing anyway.
Right.
But it might be like the way they hold hands, or their feet are touching, or somebody's leaning on the other person, or the way they have a way they look into each other's eyes, or like a kind of a knowing look or something. And it could be something so unexpected. And I think that that's really important, is to be the observer. Even when you're doing a portrait in which you're directing stuff, you're still have to be completely tuned in. With all equipment, I really feel like it's important to keep it simple. You don't want to be thinking about your equipment. You want to be thinking about what's in front of you.
Right.
So the cards, you basically have to have complete trust and get a good brand that you trust.
What brand do you use?
I do use SanDisk.
Okay.
And have been for a while. And the other thing that I tell people is you don't want to have too many small cards. It's better to have fewer big ones, because a bunch of little cards is just more stuff to mess with. I really believe that most problems with CF cards is human error. It's not card error. So that's why I shoot on big cards and I keep it really simple. Partly because of losing it, but also because you don't want to interrupt your train of thought.
Sure.
You want to be able to just keep shooting. So I tell people it's better to have fewer large cards. And it's great now, because now they come in really big sizes, and seems like there's no limit how big they're going to get.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anna, any final pieces of advice for photographers who want to improve their work?
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember the spirit and the excitement that you had when you first started photography, and to hold on to that and to always approach everything from that place. And it's the same enthusiasm and curiosity that you have as a kid approaching anything, whether it's finger painting or looking under a rock to see where all the bugs are, or whatever thing you're exploring and discovering and inventing, that's the zone where real creativity comes from. And you can't ever get far away from that or lose that because you're worried what the client wants or what you're supposed to be doing or what somebody else is doing. But if you can remember that and approach every shoot with that, then you're naturally going to have original and great photos.
Anna, thank you so much for joining me on my photography show. It's been really great to have you.
Thank you, Mark. It's been fun.
Subscribe to our blog where we'll give you tips and updates on the show along with other really cool stuff. And check out Anna's site, which is Kuperberg.com, for a closer look at her work. I'd like to thank SanDisk for making our show possible. Tune in to our next episode where we take another look at a photographer's world. Until then, this is Marc Silber reminding you to get out and capture your own images of life.